You're listening to Ask the Expert with Andrew Johnston. Listeners, welcome into this week's Fast Facts, Ask the Expert. In this one, neither of us are going to be the experts in this one, but I came across this thing, Annie, that I want to talk about real quick, just as a fast fact, because I was reading an article, and it's the typical article of how much sugar is in all the drinks that we drink. A can of Coke is, I want to say it's like 60 grams of sugar. And then maybe it's like 58, but then Pepsi's like 62, or, that has all these different grams in it. And when you think of a gram, like, did you ever like learn what the calculation, like what is a gram equivalent to?
I feel like I did. Yes.
I feel like I could be wrong on this one. And I actually probably should look this up before we did this, but I felt like we used paper clips as about the approximation of what 1 gram is.
Okay.
And so I remember, in my mind, every time that I hear like, oh, we have 23 grams, I'm like, oh, it's 23 paper clips. 23 paper clips actually doesn't sound like that much in this big old thing of,
Sure.
Suspension or a solution or whatever.
Sure.
But I did this thing, and this is why this is like going to be a fast back, because I want everyone to like really focus in on really how dangerous like even 1 can of soda is. Do you realize that 60 grams of sugar is about a quarter cup of sugar?
It's so much.
That is so much in a little tiny can.
And like in 1 can. And like, at least for me, when I think about sugar, how much sugar we're consuming, and then I think about like the recommended, not recommended, but like the maximum daily amount that like a male versus a woman should be getting. And it's like so much more. Like I think a woman, it's like in like the 20s or something. Like grams of sugar a day, which is still a lot. And like a can of soda is like,
it's not even it's not, you can have a third of a can of soda is all you get.
Right. Yeah. And for the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
And our patients are consuming 20 ounce plus, times 4 in a day of Mountain Dew or whatever.
Oh yeah, the Mountain Dew,
so much sugar. And look, this isn't hey, hygienist, you should know that sugar is bad. I just want to I want this to
the gravity
realize,
of the situation.
That is a crap ton of sugar.
Yes.
And so, listeners, we're health advocates, we're professionals. And I know that, sometimes we have the beverages as well, but I really want you to be on the lookout for opportunities this week as you're going through and just do your health assessments, your nutritional assessments.
Yep.
And talk specifically about candies, sweets, even things that you wouldn't maybe necessarily think of, but like hard candies that are just laden in sugar, any sort of taffies, any sort of sticky sweets, obviously the baked goods, like everything has so much sugar in it. And I think that we forget how much that is.
Yes.
And so I want you to look in the back of it. You can look in multiples of 60 if you want to, but read the ingredients list with your patients and help them understand the weight and the gravity of this.
It is. Halloween is upon us, and I think about candy and but I mean, that aside, like it is, the gravity of the situation is pretty heavy. And I mean, oral health obviously is a huge deal, but that aside, just oral systemic health and the impact sugar has, it is, I want to call it a silent killer, but it is so bad.
Can you imagine our patients that are drinking, like, we'll say 4 cans a day, which
scary.
I think hygienists are like, okay, that sounds like a lot. Okay, do this though. Then go get a cup of sugar.
Yes.
And then just take a spoon and just put all of that in your mouth.
Yeah.
All in one sitting. See if you can tolerate that. See what that does to your blood sugar levels and how you feel afterwards. You're going to feel nauseous and
you're gonna crash horribly.
Yes. It's going to be terrible. But anyways, that's all. That's all for the Fast Fact. Everyone, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you subscribe, follow us on Apple Podcasts. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you for listening to Fast Facts Ask the Expert. If you have a topic you'd like one of our experts to answer, simply email me, Andrew, at ataleoftwohygienist.com, and we will get it on the air as soon as possible. Thanks for listening.